Impossible for me to cover all of the first parak of Megillat Rut in 5 minutes, but I wanted to share with you one thought, one interesting point that I noticed on my most recent read of the parak, which hopefully will serve as a jumping off point for some of the other themes in the Megillah. When Nomi is trying to make her way back to Israel after her sons have died, she does her absolute best to convince her daughters-in-law that they should not come with her. She pushes Rut and Orpah to stay away. Eventually, though, Rut is not convinced, and Rut comes back with Nomi. And I noticed something interesting in the language that they use during this, basically a fierce debate over why they should go back, that I think helps to clarify a little bit their rationales and interesting nuances in the characters of Nomi and Rut. Nomi tries so hard to get Orpah and Rut to turn back. She says, Shovna, turn back 3 times. But why is it that she wants them to go back? She wants them to go back for one very specific reason. She says to them as follows in Pasuk Chet. She says, Lechna Shovna ishta levet ima, Yas Hashem imachem chesed kasher asitem im hamitim v'imadi. Turn back, each of you, to her mother's house. May Hashem deal kindly with you, as you have dealt with the dead and with me. This seems like general good wishes. I hope everything goes well for you when you go back home. But it turns out, no. Nomi has a specific plan for them. Yitein Hashem lachem u'mitzana menucha isha beit isha. Vatishak lahen vatisena kolan vativkana. May the Lord grant that each of you find security in the house of a husband. And then they kissed each other and cried. Nomi expects that her daughters-in-law will return to their families' homes and find husbands. They refuse to leave, and she emphasizes the same point, but with a different nuance. This time she says, Shovna bnotai lama telachna imi, ha'od li banim b'me'ai v'hayu lachem la'anashim. She says, turn back, why should you go with me? Have I any more sons in my body who might be husbands for you? And she continues on and on, even if I were to get pregnant now, would you really wait until he would grow up so that you could marry him? And she tells them they need to go back. They can't stay with her. Why? Because they won't find husbands. Nomi assumes that that's what Rut and Orpah think will happen, that they'll come with her back to the land of Israel, and they'll find husbands and build new families there. And Nomi knows, quite rightly, that this isn't going to be easy. We see later on in the Megillah that, in fact, Rut is rejected by the high society of Beit Lechem, referred to as, that Moavi outsider. Ploni Almoni doesn't want to take her for a wife. So in some ways, Nomi is correct. It will be difficult for them to find husbands if they come with her. But she goes so far as to even say, an old woman, will not be able to get pregnant and have a son who you could eventually marry. A point which should have been patently obvious to everybody. Right? Why does Nomi need to go so far to explain that they won't be able to find husbands? And why doesn't Rut listen? Right? Orpah listens. Orpah says, you know what, you're right, I shouldn't go back with you. But Rut says, no, I'm coming. Rut says, no, I'm coming. And in her impassioned speech, she says to them, that's not what I'm looking for. Rut says to her mother-in-law, Vatomer Rut, al tifki'i bi la'ozvech, this is in Psukim Tet Zayin and Yud Zayin, do not urge me to leave you. Lashuv me'acharayich, ki el asher telchi elech, uva asher talini alin, amech ami ve'elokayich elokai. Wherever you go, I'll go. Where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God, my God. And she continues, Basher tamuti amut v'shama kaver, ko yaseh Hashem li v'cho yosif, ki hamavet yafrid beini uvenech. Where you die, I will die. There I will be buried. Thus and more may Hashem do to me, if anything but death parts me from you. Rut never mentions a husband. She doesn't even relate to Nomi's whole extended drama about how Rut will never find a husband. And I think that this is really interesting and tells us a huge amount about the mindsets of Nomi and Rut as they make their way back to Israel. Nomi left Israel 10 years before with the perfect family, a husband and 2 sons. They moved. And Nomi lost everything. She lost her husband, then her sons got married, and then she lost her sons as well. And she's a bereaved wife and mother. And grief has a tendency to make us myopic, to view the whole world through the lens of our personal loss. And so Nomi can't imagine that anybody would want anything other than a husband and children. And we know that she's still thinking about the possibility of having children, because she's even talking about it. I myself will never be able to have children again. The Midrash actually says that when Nomi comes back to Beit Lechem and says to the women of Beit Lechem, Ani mele'ah halachti, I left full, the Midrash says it means I left pregnant, and I lost the baby. Nomi is a woman who has experienced such traumatic and deep loss in her life that she wants to protect her daughters-in-law from the same life that she has, from a life of being alone, being societally worthless. And so she says to them, go back because I can't give you husbands. And what is life worth without a husband? But Rut isn't thinking about that. Rut is telling Nomi, you are a person of worth. You are a person I want to be with, and I will be with you as you go on through this difficult life, through, going back to a place where you experienced happiness and coming back bereaved and sad and destitute. And Rut says, you know what? I don't know what my future holds, but that's okay. We can take it one day at a time. We can live in the present. And Nomi doesn't respond, but she accepts this. She accepts that Rut is planning on sticking around with her. And this tension between their two personalities, Nomi who's focused on family and future, and Rut who seems to be more of a pragmatist, focused on the present, focused on getting through one day at a time. These two characters form this family unit together over the next few prakim of the Megillah that eventually leads to a happy ending that I'm going to suggest could only happen because of their very different takes on life. And again, takes on life that I think you can really see by the passions that they bring to this fight, of Nomi saying, don't come with me, I don't have a future to promise you, and Rut saying, that's okay, we can be people who live together and we'll build something together no matter what.